Hello, beautiful strangers, and welcome back to another episode of Our Strange Reality. Tonight, we're going to be going on a horrifying hike into the Black Star Canyon. So I don't know if you could tell by now, but I love talking about spooky things in the woods. There's still something deeply attractive about the mystery of the forest. Black Star Canyon is located in Orange County, California, right outside of LA and the Santa Ana Mountains. So Black Star Canyon originally belonged to the Tongva tribe, and they believe that the tribe only lived there part of the year because of the high grizzly population that lived in the canyon at the time. And apparently, Fremont Canyon, up to the north of Black Star Canyon, showed no sign of native habitation because of the high grizzly population. In the 1800s, the Spanish missions started to fade away, and this left local ranchers defenseless against the Tongva tribes who would come in from the mountains and deserts and steal the animals off their ranches. So in 1831, an old legend goes that a conflict between William Wolfskill and the Tongva tribe happened. So Wolfskill was a fur trader from New Mexico, and he came up to California with a whole gang of fellow fur traders. So with all the raids happening by the Tongva tribe, William Wolfskill offered his services to the local ranchers to protect their livestock. So Wolfskill and his trappers followed a horse trail up into the valley, where they saw stolen horses grazing at a Tongva camp. And this is where one of the bloodiest battles of the Santa Ana Mountains happened. The heavily armed trappers brutally massacred the Tongva tribe in that valley. And people claim to hear the blood-curdling screams of this massacre sort of imprinted in the area, I guess, that they think are the massacred spirits of the Tongva people. This valley was also the scene of the Hidden Ranch murder. The ranch was owned by Henry Hungerford and George Howard. Henry's brother Thomas was also at the ranch that day. On the evening of June 8, 1899, James Gregg and his brother-in-law Decatur Harris and a teenage boy named Clinton Hunt came to the Hidden Ranch to retrieve some livestock that Gregg claimed to own. However, Howard owed Gregg $10 on a horse trade, because $10 meant a lot back then. $10 kind of means a lot right now too. Okay, so Howard owed Gregg $10 for the horse trade, but Gregg had a pasture bill of $17.50 that he owed Howard. So Gregg tried to work out a deal, but it didn't work out well. The men feuded, and Gregg, Harris, and Hunt stayed outside of the Howard ranch all night, sort of intimidating them. Now, the next day, this fight escalated into a gunfight, and James Gregg was fatally shot. And Hungerford was never convicted for the murder because the judge dismissed the case for lack of evidence. So Hungerford got away with murder. And obviously, the spirit of James Gregg is not happy with that, because people claim to hear him screaming in the night. Now, this valley is very well known for extreme sounds. It will go from a dead, eerie silence to screeching winds to people swearing they can hear screaming off in the distances. In the 1970s, there was a bus going about its normal route filled with school children when all of a sudden it lost control and crashed into the Black Star Canyon below, killing pretty much everyone on board. And apparently this bus remained in the spot where it crashed all the way up until 2012. And people who hiked out to see this bus would claim to see tiny ghostly figures of the children who died there. They would hear screaming coming from the bus, terrified screams of children coming from the bus, which I think would be the most horrifying hike you could ever go on. People also claim to have had shadow figures stalk them while hiking through the canyon. They claim that these shadow figures would aggressively chase them, that they were very fast moving, almost like they were stalking or hunting the person hiking through the canyon. There are also claims of people having rocks thrown at them. Now, Santiago Sam is the Sasquatch type creature that is claimed to be seen in the Santa Ana Mountains. That is the cutesy little nickname they gave him. However, Santiago Sam is a little different in that he is claimed to be only about 5 foot, but still leaves a 20-inch footprint. So he's like a mini Squatch, but still a Bigfoot. There have also been multiple UFO sightings, decades worth of UFO sightings. People seeing all sorts of strange multicolored lights in the skies, fast flying lights going through the skies, strange sounds coming from them, no sounds coming from them, all the typical UFO activity. There are also lots of stories of satanic rituals going on there, especially during the 1980s satanic panic. There was one case that I did come across that involved 2 girls getting murdered in a sort of ritualistic fashion out there, which I'm not going to go into because it was horrible, but it did happen out there. Obviously, this forested hiking area being so close to a major city, plenty of bodies have been found out there. So, with any time that you go out hiking into the wilderness, you have to let people know where you are, and you have to stay alert about what's happening in your surroundings. You gotta stay safe. So if you're looking to get away from the strangeness of Hollywood and into the strangeness of the wilderness, Black Star Canyon is a perfect spot to go. It has it all. Murder, mystery, Bigfoots, UFOs, shadow people who might be hunting you. It sounds like a great time. Thank you for joining me on another journey into our strange reality.